I'm so glad you found us and clicked on this link. I'm guessing if you're here, it's because you are, or you have, a student in Year 11 and 12. Those last 2 years of school can be tough. The demands increase enormously after Year 10, and suddenly even the top students find themselves really struggling to keep up. And it's not just the schoolwork, but all the other things added in. You're just starting to drive and get some independence. Maybe you play sport or an instrument, or maybe you have a part-time job. Then there's all the school commitments and leadership opportunities that you want to make the most of. And somewhere on top of that, you're expected to study and get great results to set you up for the rest of your life. We hear you. I'm Jean Yates, and I've been a high school teacher for over 30 years. In all that time working with students, I've realised that it's not necessarily the smartest kids who get the best results. It's the ones who can manage their time effectively and stay calm, focused, and in control when under pressure. As teachers, we often tell students that they need to study, that they can't just expect to get by with homework alone. But often we don't actually teach them what this means. Lots of schools have timetabled study lessons, but again, if we don't actually teach our students to study, then they can't make good use of this time. At worst, they'll simply waste it, and at best, they'll just keep applying the same bad study techniques that they've always used and make no advancement. Well, after watching this for years, I decided that something had to change, and that's why I created Edvantage Australia, a series of workshops and study support to teach kids the skills they need to get the best marks possible so that they can follow their dreams. Because it's not all about working harder. It's about working smarter, getting more done in less time by working more efficiently and using your brain and memory effectively. It's about staying calm and focused. And it's about taking control of the exam situation so that you can answer any question effectively and showcase your knowledge. Unlike regular tutoring, which is subject and content specific, our workshops are designed to equip students with the skills, techniques and habits that they need to be able to study effectively, and indeed to navigate much of their lives. We follow a 5-step process: prepare, organise, memorise, revise and recall. So let's have a quick look at each step. Prepare. No one can study without the right environment and attitude. Having a designated study area is essential, as is having the right equipment. Did you know that there's actually a psychological reason why you should never study on your bed? But more importantly, students need to have the right frame of mind. They need to adopt a growth mindset rather than a fixed mindset, believing that they can grow and develop as students rather than seeing academic ability as something that's fixed from birth. Many students hate studying, seeing it as an unfair infringement on their spare time. But the bottom line is that when they're a student, that actually is their job. Much of the problem is actually caused by negativity and procrastination, which just elongate the process and make it even more painful than it needs to be. Helping them to work on this mindset and teaching them ways to prioritise and manage their time more efficiently really helps here. Practicing gratitude and mindfulness are also beneficial, not just in improving study skills, but in all facets of life. Organise. So, once students are ready to see themselves as students and start the study process, we need to get organised. Time management is a huge factor here. We'll sit with our students and help them create a realistic schedule, taking into consideration their personal goals and interests, as well as any other factors that might affect their study time. Most students find that having a clear process in place helps them achieve far more in far less time, freeing them up to do the things that they really want to do. With the right organisation, students will never miss a deadline or feel the need to engage in all-night cramming sessions. Memorise. The brain works like any other muscle. It needs to be exercised and warmed up before it can work at its optimum level. One of the challenges faced by many students in Year 11 and 12 is that they're able to get through until the end of Year 10 just on their natural ability. So by the time they hit the senior years, they've never really had to exercise their grey matter, and either they don't know how to do it, or their brains won't oblige and miraculously kick into gear. But with a few hints and tricks, students will soon be creating mind palaces, using mnemonics and creating all sorts of weird and wonderful stories that will help them memorise more information than they ever thought possible. Revision. Memorising information is all very well and good, but unless you revise that information regularly, the brain decides that it's actually unimportant and stops storing it. This is why we struggle to remember things that we learned a while ago. And with exams that cover a whole year's worth of information, this can be a real problem. The secret is spaced revision, small but frequent study sessions that help the brain move the information from the short-term to the long-term memory, where it can be accessed whenever it's needed. Having a clear, prioritised to-do list helps students know exactly what needs to be achieved in each revision session. Not only does this keep them focused and on track, but it allows them to tick off tasks as they're completed, gain rewards, and boost their serotonin levels, which again keeps them engaged, positive, and motivated. A good revision program not only helps students retain the information, but it requires frequent breaks and naps, the best kind of study. A well-organised revision program ensures that students stay focused and motivated. It provides flexibility and ensures that all subjects are covered, not just the favourite ones. It also helps to ensure that students have a good balance in their lives, eating and sleeping, communicating, playing sports and socialising, as well as studying. And finally, recall. There's no point learning all this information if you can't get it out of your brain and down onto the exam paper. Yet, many students hit the exam room and freeze. Their minds go blank and they struggle to remember anything that they've learned, no matter how many hours they've spent on it. Yet there are some easy tricks to help you stay calm and in control, to interpret questions appropriately, manage the exam the way that suits you, and sound like a true academic. Firstly, you need to keep the nerves at bay so that you can manage your time and stay clear and focused. Then, you need to be able to deconstruct the questions, identifying the cognitions required to respond to the task and determining the key point of reference. Writing like an academic is a skill that many students lack. Simple elements such as voice and tense can make a huge difference to your writing, as does the use of subject-specific vocabulary. Remember, the markers are reading literally hundreds of papers. We can teach you how to make yours stand out, in a good way, so that you can stop leaving easy marks on the table. So, where do you go from here? Well, I guess you can do what many students do and just keep muddling through your usual fairly ineffective study techniques. Or you could sign up with us and learn how to work smarter, not harder. We offer a number of ways we can work with you. There are 27 workshops in our suite of lessons, each one covering a different skill. You can independently work your way through whichever topics you like. Our online platform is engaging and interactive, allowing you to work at your own pace while still being part of a community with plenty of built-in incentives to keep you going. Or, if you'd like more support, we'll be your mentor throughout the year. We'll sit with you and devise a realistic study timetable that works in with your other commitments. Then, we'll send you regular reminders of due work along with motivational messages and other reminders. You'll become part of a community that enables you to speak directly to our team or to other students, sharing your fears, concerns and solutions with others who are in the same situation. So, why not click the button below and sign up for a free consultation so that we can talk about the best ways we can help your child get the ATAR score they need to pursue their dreams.